It is August 8th. It's been in the 90s down in the valleys. We're in the mountains. It's cool today, damp. We're wearing coats outside. It just started raining and now it's, I think they call this grapple. It's like a soft hail that's coming down on us. Yeah, there you go. But I thought I'd show you around camp a little bit of a vlog. And if we look this way, look at the sun shining down there in the valley. Don't know if you can see that real clearly, but it's messy up here. It's not down there. But I thought I'd show you around a little, and I had to share this anecdote that we're literally wearing coats on August 8th. Now, I've been up here in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming and had it snow on me on August 31st before. I was actually a little higher elevation that time, I think. We're about 8,000 feet, and it's, yeah, it's freezing and we're wearing coats, and we're now getting rained and grappled on. Another fun fact in this video, it's a vlog, we're just sharing our experience out here camping. You have this amazing, amazing scenery at this campsite. It's really epic. But I'm never camping here again, even though it's amazingly scenic. Now, here's the thing. We all have our things we're looking for when we go camping, our priorities, the things we care about, what we're trying to achieve. I want peace and quiet. And the Bighorns in the summer, on weekends in particular, are often literally, I'm not exaggerating, noisier than being in town, because there's so many people up here playing and they're bringing noisy stuff like generators, you know, the off-road vehicles, all this garbage is literally oftentimes noisier than being in town. We're coming into Friday as I'm recording this. We're going to get out of here tomorrow, Saturday, if we don't end up leaving a little early because of the things I'm talking about. But here's it. We got this spot that we've never been out here for. We had to do some exploring. We have the box truck now. It's 8 feet wide instead of 6 feet wide. So some of the roads I used to go down, I can't go down anymore. So we wanted to get out and explore. We found this spot. I made some mistakes in my calculations, right? I thought this road that goes down behind me dead-ended out there. I thought this road over here, that's a more major road. It's a gravel road. We came in on it. I thought that dead-ended up there in the hills. Apparently they both go through, and there has been an absolute ton of traffic. Dead ends usually keep the traffic to a minimum. There's also a logging operation going on up in those hills, and they start coming in before the sun comes up, and they rattle down the road in their noisy trucks and go up there, and then they're hauling trucks, literal logs out. I've been in worse places. I'm thinking of Leadville, Colorado. I'm thinking of Moab, Utah. But when I go out, I'm seriously, when I go out, I'm trying to have as peace and quiet. I want as little man-made artificial noise as possible and interruptions. I want to be able to experience nature, see wildlife, all that sort of stuff. My idea of a good camping outing is one where literally I don't see anybody the whole time I'm out there. So even though this is incredibly scenic and it's incredibly quiet in between all the traffic going by, there's a lot of traffic, and this grapple's getting huge. Whoa, ouch. Oh, we're getting to hail now. Let me show you, we're getting legit hail. Well, maybe that'll keep the tourists down. But anyway, I like to find like peace and quiet. That's why I'm out here. I'm not out here for a bunch of activity and doing stuff and everything else. And it has been non-stop out here with traffic. There goes another car going by now that just turned around in our campsite. That's been another thing here. Everybody, we're on a corner and everybody seems to think we're like the turnaround spot and they're invading my space. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't like noise and distraction. Others of you think it's fine. In other words, people who like quartzite, for example, might think this is great, but but anyway, too much activity for me. So I won't camp here again. We'll find somewhere else that's a little more remote and that doesn't have people showing up in our yard all the time. On a positive note, it's pretty easily accessible here. My folks were able to come up and visit us yesterday for a little bit, so that was great. Brought their dog up. We played catch with the dog, drew a ball for him a bunch, but we'll show you around, give you some more scenery around here in our little campsite. And then, oh, and I didn't mention, right over there behind me is apparently what people call the phone booth, because there's a spot overlooking that distant valley down there where you can actually get a phone signal, which is not a good one, but a bit of a signal, and that's pretty rare up here in the Bighorns to be able to get a phone signal anywhere. It's 30 or 40 miles across the top, and you have signal sort of on the sides where the towns are, but nothing on the tops. We also have people coming in to use the phone over here, so which took us a while to figure out what the heck was going on, because people come in and pull over and park and act all suspicious like, right? But they were just coming over to use the phone. So all that's fine. It's public land. People are free to use the phone here. They're free to drive around and explore everything else just like we do. But for my purposes, when I go camping, I want to find a place where I don't see anybody for however many days or weeks I'm out there. But let's show you around a little bit here and see why it is a very pretty and scenic campsite, even though I'm probably never going to camp here again. And I don't actually mind this because we've been sweating like crazy because it's been hot. So it's really nice to have a break in the heat. We are camped here on the edge of this ponderosa pine forest that we're strolling through, and now you can see the truck right behind us there. Ponderosa pine forests are interesting because they tend to be thinner than the forest in a lot of other parts of the country. I'm a Yankee, so I'm used to like New England forests, upstate New York forests. I've traveled other places, I've seen thick forests, but these trees tend to get pretty tall, and you don't really end up with much in the way of undergrowth. What we do have in this one, of course, is a lot of deadfall, which you do see in some of these forests. I'm just tripping, don't mind me. But lots of stuff down out here. And these forests do tend to get pretty dry, but it's weird because you can see through them a lot further than you might be used to. It can be a little bit unnerving if you think you're going to have privacy because you're camped or you're parked in the trees, because you're still able to see any neighbors you have, even if they're, some distance away, because there's basically no undergrowth in these trees. And here's something we don't see a ton out here in these dry forests, but we got a mushroom growing there and pushing its way up through the pine needles. So interestingly enough, the sun is trying to break out again now. Still pretty cool, but the rain and the grapple has stopped. So we're back to just a cool breeze. It's pretty nice, really. It's just cool, and it's a little bit amusing that we're running into this August 8th. So it's definitely a little bit chilly, and like I said, it's been hitting 90s a lot in the valleys, 80s for sure. Sometimes, a lot of times 90s. So we're it's a nice relief from that, at least. And who doesn't have to laugh when you're wearing a coat on August 8th? Well, we're just sitting here, soaking up a little sunshine, drinking in the views, listening to these grasshoppers going clickety, 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 clack all around us, letting us know they're here. And apparently they do that to mark their territory. Is that what you told me? Mark their territory. So we're not sure if they're trying to alert other grasshoppers that this is their territory, or if they're telling us that this is their territory. We may never know. But the scenery is incredible around here, I'll give it that. Well, we took a walk, found this, well, we didn't find it, we knew it was here, we saw it before. We stopped in this lovely little meadow. We're on Wyoming State Trust land right now, which is public land, but the rules are gonna be different, and honestly, I'm not up to date enough on it to know exactly what they are. We're in a spot where somebody here clearly has camped before. There's a fire ring over here, but again, it's different rules, and I don't know what they are, so I guess we'll have to look that up and see. The fact that nobody else has come in here this weekend with all of the stuff going on around here makes me think either it's just hidden better than I thought it was, because I spotted it on the first time by, or it's just a little bit, the rules are different. Maybe you can't camp on it at all, or like in Arizona, you have to have a special permit for state trust land camping, and it's quite restricted as far as the number of days per year you can use it. So anyway, we've just been laying around here in this meadow, soaking up some sun and enjoying the views and everything. We're far enough away from that dirt road up there that we've seen in the distance of traffic, so we know people have gone by, but we haven't really been hearing them, and they haven't been rattling by right outside of our camp. So that's been a lot more relaxing. It's my own fault as far as being stressed here, in that I underestimated or I misjudged this road, the roads around here. We thought we were on a dead end and there wasn't going to be much going on, but it turns out we were wrong about that. Now we know. We also misjudged the amount of logging activity and what exactly that might entail. And there's not only trucks starting by before sunup, but they go for a good part of the day. And there's not just the trucks hauling logs, there's all the workers going in and out and stuff. And it's just a busy spot. And so we didn't really expect it would be this bad when we found the spot, or we'd have kept looking and tried to find something a little more in line with what we like, which is, or I'm speaking for myself here, I think Melanie likes, but we're absolute peace and quiet with nobody around, and just time able to unwind and enjoy some downtime. So the Bighorn Mountains are awesome. If you're planning on coming to Wyoming and you're going to stop in the Bighorns, just know that public service announcement here. August is the busiest season up here, is the busiest time. We have tons and tons and tons of tourists come through Wyoming every year, literally millions. And a lot of them are going to like Yellowstone and Grand Teton and Jackson Hole, all that stuff over there. And if they're coming from the east, many of them are coming over the Bighorns, either on 16 or on 14. And some go down through like Casper down that way, but there's an awful lot of people come over these mountains, and some of them decide to try and stop and camp while they're here or do a little hiking or whatever else. So there is a lot of people here because of tourism. There's also just a lot of locals, and August ends up being peak time for locals up here as well, because it's hot. So, you know, it's 90, maybe 100 degrees down in the valleys, and it's like, hey, let's go up to the mountains and get cooled down. Also, you get to this time of year, school starts back, what I consider early here. I think it's about a week and a half now. They're starting back, and so like maybe the third week of August or something. And so a lot of locals are like, hey, let's get up to the mountains for one more outing, one more hurrah, right? So it does tend to be busy up here in August, and I know that, but the reason we tried it anyways this weekend was because It was hot. It was pushing. It was supposed to hit 100 yesterday down in the valley, down where we're at. I don't know what it actually hit, but we weren't there. But it was quite hot, so we thought it'd be a good time to get up here. There are some other places we want to get back out to now that we got the truck going, but they were even hotter than 100. They were up in the hundreds, above 100. So we didn't want to do that last week either, or this week that we're in now. So anyway, so that's why we did this. We took a chance. I misjudged a few things on this particular location, or we would have kept going and gone somewhere else. But that's what happens. Live and learn, right? And you know, there are other people who would think this was totally fine and wouldn't bother them at all. It's just not my style. So to each their own. We just like to get out. We're in the middle of nowhere and we don't see anybody. So that's kind of our thing. Everybody's got different styles of camping, but that's the way we like to do it. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the scenery around here and got some entertainment out of my rant. We're still wearing jackets. The rain stopped, the grapple stopped, but it is a cool breeze. And it's actually quite nice. I don't mind that part at all. That's kind of a fun break from the heat of summer. So that was fun. We'll be going out soon. We're heading back into town here in the next day or two. And we're going to do a few more things on the truck. There's a few things I want to fix. One of them I knew, well, actually, I guess I knew about both of them before we even headed out, but we want to get that stuff wrapped up. And then if you haven't been following the whole build series, we're trying to get it usable, and then we'll come back around and do some finish detail stuff to make it more pretty after the fact. And our idea with that is let's just make sure that things are working the way we think they're going to work before we spend a lot of time and money making everything as beautiful as possible, and then have to tear out things because they're not working the way we need them to work. So mostly it's doing pretty darn good in there. So there's a few things we want to fix. We'll do that. Then we'll get out again for another trip and confirm that things are working the way we want them to. And we'll be moving over from the trailer real soon, I think, into the truck. So stay tuned for that. And we will get an updated tour video out once we have, like, you know, once we're in and everything's settled a little bit, so you can see how we're using things and how things are working for us. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this video, we have a ton of travel vlogs of different places we go, camping trips, that sort of thing. So you may enjoy checking out that playlist and see if there's some you've missed. We got a library that goes back almost 10 years. I think it goes 10 years now. 10 years in a month or two. So plenty of videos on here to check out. And thanks for watching this one. We'll catch you in the next one.